So I finally watched episode 169 for Boruto, and watching the previews from the last week's episode, the previews made it seem like they were probably gonna have the fight of Shikadai and his team and Shinki and his team work together to fight against Deepa. I didn't think they were gonna win against him because Deepa is just an absolute force to be reckoned with, is incredibly powerful, but I didn't know what they were gonna exactly do with the fight between basically two parties against one guy, right? Like six people against one incredibly strong dude. What were they going to do against them? And how long of the episode are they going to be able to do this? And it was actually very short within the episode. The main focus of it was basically just Shikadai, Inojin, and Chocho getting to the Land of Wind, to the Sand Village, so that way they can go and recover one of Uroshiki's puppets. In some way he's important, or in some way the puppet is important. I don't know what's so important about it. Maybe it has something to do with the Hashirama cell in some way. I have really no clue. It'll probably get explained later on, or someone in the comments might explain it to me. And that's fine, I don't really mind that, but that was the main focus of the episode, and the main purpose of this episode was basically kind of to do exactly what it did for Boruto, Sawada, and Mitsuki, which was basically to encourage these group of kids who were basically just the strongest characters to ever really exist at this point in time, way stronger than let's say their parents, for example, were when they were children, when they were in the same age. Like Shinki is incredibly formidable, especially considering how young he is and at the point of time that he currently is as a shinobi. He's incredibly powerful, but with just his metal iron sand. But Deepa just basically took all of that down. Deepa was just too much for the iron sand to be able to come against, to defend against, and it didn't do anything. It couldn't defend him for very long. Shinki he was taken down a peg. All these characters have been taken down a peg, and I think that's the reason why I enjoyed this episode, just like the one episode where Boruto and his team went against Deepa and they lost, because there are these characters within the show who are incredibly formidable, who are incredibly powerful for where they currently are in their life, and they're finally going against somebody that they just can't do anything against. They're not strong enough. And so what do? They finally get motivated to start training and work harder at becoming much more powerful, because they didn't really need to do that before. It's kind of like, maybe a bad example, but it's kind of like Frieza in Resurrection F, where he said he never trained a day in his life, and the one time that he finally starts to do some training, he unlocks a completely brand new form. The same thing was essentially happening with Boruto with his new Windstar Rasengan, and Sawada with training her One Tomoe Sharingan. And now, from what we can tell from the previews of next week's episode, Shikadai, I almost said Shikamaru, Shikadai, Chocho, and maybe Inojin are gonna start helping out their friends to get stronger in some way, not to completely fight Deepa once again and potentially beat him, but just to surpass what he was before. That's the whole purpose of this, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the episode just because of what it did and what it was supposed to do, which was to take these characters down a peg, to encourage them to try harder and train harder, so that way they can be properly prepared for the next fight that they're going to have to go against whoever it has to be. But I don't know, just whoever it is, whatever they're going to do, this is the whole point of why they're fighting this guy in particular, and I really enjoy it. So that's kind of it. I don't really have anything else to say about the episode. The episode was, pretty much to fill in. I don't really know what the point of the episode was. I'm trying to think of what the episode was really for, but I think it was just to get someone to understand Boruto's motive for doing what he's doing, and to have them understand, and to then eventually go and help Boruto out with his own training. So yeah, that's basically the episode. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good, and I liked it for the exact reasons that have been stated before in previous episodes. But that's basically it. That's all I really have to say about the episode. Like the video if you did. Leave a comment down below. I'll see you guys next one. I'm out. Peace.